perfect. Nice. All right, looking at this camera right now first. Good. All right. All right, 10 seconds for the TV cameras. Okay. Yep, for these. Right here. All right, we're good. Thank you very much. Woo.
All right, Rod. You're in the hole. All right. Thanks for coming. Exciting day. It's great that we can all get back together again and celebrate days like this. Celebrate guys like DK. It's a huge day for the Seattle Seahawks' future. Big deal for DK as well. But it's cool to see everybody in the building coming out and celebrating today, and we're all very excited for DK and for his teammates and the organization moving forward here. Before we get too far, I want to thank Jody Allen for providing us this opportunity to do what we're doing here today. And it's a great thing. I also want to thank DK's agent, Tori Dandy, Jay Neenkirk, Matt Thomas upstairs. It's a long process. It's a process that started, planning process that started in Indy, and it took a while. But I want to thank. I also want to especially thank DK. I want to thank you for your professionalism and your patience through this process. People on the outside, when they see these huge contracts, are just blown away, and it's a huge blessing, right? But they don't understand the stress that goes along with a negotiation like this. Again, it's a huge blessing, but it's a long process, and there's a lot, that goes into it for the player, his family, his loved ones, and so I just want to thank you for your patience and professionalism. I know we're all excited, but I know it was a process for you. We've obviously we quickly identified DK as a core player for us moving forward here right away. I thought it was really fitting looking back. And ironic that Cam Chancellor was able to be at the 2019 draft and be able to introduce DK with the 64th pick that year. When you cheers to Cam wherever he is right now, but maybe just up the hill. But you talk about two individuals so similar. Just professionals, intense, great workers, good people, treat everybody in the building really well, huge competitors, intense. We were here celebrating KJ yesterday, same thing. We all, as soon as you walked in the building, everybody knew you were part of our family. It's the pre-draft process is it's you're trying to figure out the person, but everybody in this building thinks the world of you, and I hope you know that. Quick funny story, and then I'll turn it over to Pete. But I'll never forget that year in 2019 with the draft prep. Pete was so in tune with DK and Johnny, we got to have this guy on our team. We got to get this guy on our team. How are we going to get this guy on our team? We got to, through the draft process, you're trying to figure out all your needs and how you're going to address things. And it was so fun. Pete, we had selected Marquise Blair. And then, I'm going to bring that up. Like, I love Marquise too. He's a great guy, right? Great teammate. But, we had selected Marquise, and then we got through the calling and the initial excitement with Marquise, and then Pete had gone out of the room with some of the coaches, and I think they're probably still talking to Marquise and everything and welcoming him, and I was on the phone. We were on the phone, you know, in the draft room with a couple teams, and I was on the phone with the Patriots. And Nick Caserio, who's the GM for Houston, and I did this deal while Pete was out of the room, and you know, everything kind of calmed down there for a little while. It seems like forever. I know you know it seems like forever, but I didn't tell Pete that we had this deal in place because he was so anxious about being able to put DK on our team, right? And it was kind of evident at the time, like there was just a couple picks in there, and those teams, I don't think were going to select a receiver. So it was really, we kind of knew we were going to be able to acquire you, and it was so fun just to kind of like, you know, see Pete sweat a little bit because I'm like up in the box during the games, and I'm like all stressed out. He's kind of like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? You know, and it was so exciting. I just kind of, it's like one of those cheesy draft day movies or something. I kind of leaned over and I'm like, hey, we just made a trade and we're on the clock. And he's like, whoa, who are we? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, you were out of the room. It's over. And he's like, you got to be kidding me. DK Metcalf's going to be on our team? And it was so cool to be able that exchange right there. Bam, we made the trade. And then to be able to get up to the 64th pick, I'll never, ever forget that. It was a really exciting time. And the emotion that you showed on the phone and everything, those memories never go away. So, yeah, I just had to share that story with everybody because nobody, really gets to see that, the inside there. But congratulations, man, and I'll turn it over to Pete.
Yeah, well, I just add to the story a little bit that watching that happen and not thinking for you at the time, because I know you're sitting there, you're pissed. The numbers kept going and going, and for it to get to 64, and we get you, and I know it crushed you, the whole process. But what it did is it put a chip on your shoulder that ain't going away, and we were very fortunate that day. That was a very surrealistic moment because I never thought that would ever happen after things that had taken place. It was one of the great moments really in the draft history for me, and it was awesome. I want to say this, that this young man is a cutting-edge performer in all ways. The way he applies himself, his expectations, the way he's willing to work. There's nothing that he is not willing to do to get to the best of his abilities and potential. But it's not just about football, and it's not just about sports. It's about how he attacks everything that he's going for. This is a cutting-edge performer in a time that he is an international star on the rise, and because he's just so. He's so attuned for doing all that it takes to be that kind of a performer, and I'm so thrilled that you're with us and we're doing it. And we're going to get to do it together. We're very, very fortunate to see it, but it is for our fans too. This is really something. And when you look at the NFL, we go to the league meetings and they show all the players and they flash the shots. Whenever they flash this guy, he's exactly what you hope and dream an NFL ball player would be. But then I love it because he's so much more than that. And so you guys will all learn as we go, and he gets more chances to visit with you and all that. What a tremendous young man this is. Congratulations. Ever since I showed you up when I took my shirt off, man, I didn't realize it was all going to come to this. But you want to take our shirts off right now? No. Okay. All right. It's a good thing. Good job. Congratulations, and so pleased for everybody. And the fellas and the team are so jacked that this took place because we all know he's such a big part of it. So congratulations. You take it. It's yours.
Well, I just want to say thank you to First God, John, Pete, Miss Jody, Allen, Matt, Tori. It's going to be a long list of thanks, so get ready. Just coming from Oxford, Mississippi, all the way over here to Seattle is a long journey. I'm about to get emotional, so bear with me. It really hasn't hit me until now that I'll have the opportunity just to help so many people back home and help my family, and just thinking about when I broke my neck and I was told I wasn't going to be able to play football again, and now just this moment happening is just all a blessing. All my teachers, coaches from middle school, high school, my college coaches, college teammates, A.J. Brown, Elijah Moore, DeMarcus Gregory, Then when I get here and I meet guys like Russ, Bobby, Dwayne Brown, Tyler Lockett, Quandre Diggs, Al Woods, Freddie Swain, they push me and make it exciting just to come to work. And then the people that y'all don't get to see, like EK, Chad, Bowie, Mo Kelly, everybody in the kitchen, everybody behind the scenes, Brad Izzik, sat down with me my rookie year. He was in the room with me, helped me go through all the plays. And it's just like a lot of people that I'm still forgetting the name, but just this moment is just all coming together just so I could be with this organization and this family that I get to call, my family for the next coming years. It's just all a blessing, all amazing. And I just thank everybody because it took a village just for me to get here today. And man, just a big thank you to everybody that helped me get to this point in my life, and I'm still not done, and that chip hasn't gone anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Awesome. Yeah.
DK, what was this process like for you for the last few months?
like John said, it was stressful, but at the end of the day, you gotta know your worth and know that something's gonna get done. And so that's all you could do, just to put yourself to sleep at night and, just to pray that you get to come back to work and visit with guys like I named. But it was a stressful process, but glad that it's over now.
DK, you're getting the highest signing bonus for a receiver in NFL history. Was something like that important to you to get some kind of marker like that? Or?
No, I mean, we had, goals that we talked about both on, the team side and our side, but, this is just, an amazing moment to where I do get to help my family and the state of Mississippi and, the surrounding communities, for years to come.
Okay, did seeing the other receivers get their deals during the offseason, did that add to the stress?
No, because like I said, man, something was going to get done, whether, it was going to be here, because I wouldn't, as much as I bluffed to John, I wouldn't leave it. So just to let y'all know, I wanted to be here, I wanted to play here, and, I'm just glad that we got something done.
You're competing or you're not, right?
Exactly.
John, for you,
You taught me that.
did seeing the other deals add stress to the situation from your standpoint?
I don't know if it's adding stress. It's just, it's part of the planning process. So, you're always kind of adjusting as you go. So, if you go back to the time we were in Indianapolis, there are a number of things that happened that we had to keep adjusting as we move forward to try to keep to try to reward this young man and deservedly so, as well as trying to continue to put together a championship caliber football team.
DK, when that doctor told you you wouldn't play anymore at Ole Miss, was your goal to get into the NFL or was to get a second contract in this moment the goal?
My goal is to make it to the Hall of Fame, so still not done.
DK, speaking of that, like, where does your game go from here? And I know John and Peter are probably going to smile because, you've been in this league 3 years. Where does your game go? How do you get better? Where do you get better?
Leading. I think that's one aspect that I get to step into now. I know we already have great leaders like Tyler and Quandre and Gino and, Al Woods. But, just helping me and me helping them just lead by example and, vocal leaders be vocal leaders and, I'm going to do my part.
As you're going through this transition of some of the roster turning over, getting younger, how important is keeping a player like DK around?
Yeah, certainly it is. I mean, this is such an exciting day for the 12s. I mean, to know that DK is going to be here and be part of this thing, we feel it throughout the organization, in the locker room, everybody. We know. And the guys when we just kind of made a little announcement today, the guys cheering for him and in this room, and everybody cares, and it makes a big difference. And the momentum that you feel from a leader like this, coming back to your club and knowing that he's excited about it and he's thrilled to be here and all that kind of stuff, man, it just adds to all of the energy of the group. So it is really important.
DK, was it hard being away from the team during minicamp in June?
Yes. I mean, I get calls from Tyler and Freddie, and they're telling me about practice, and I get to watch it. I want to be out there, with them practicing.
Same thing when you were just watching the first 2 days?
Exactly, yes, sir.
Hard being here and watching it?
Yeah, definitely harder, yeah.
DK, maybe it's obvious, but why were you so committed to wanting to stay in Seattle?
I mean, this is my home. I didn't want to move. Moving's stressful for me, so I wasn't trying to do that.
DK, whomever it is, there is a new starting quarterback this year, and the faith this team has in you to help whomever that is along in their first year being a full-time starter for this team. What does that mean to you going forward here?
I mean, I know we got great quarterbacks already, in Drew Lock and Geno. So, just bringing them along and just showing them that, we're with them, and they're not going through this, alone.
And on the same token for that, obviously the investment this team has made in you is based on your performance, your work ethic, all those great things. What does it mean to you this moment, based on the work you've done your first 2 years here with this team?
Like I said, man, it's just a blessing just to, have this coat of armor that I get to wear that the Seahawks, blessed me with. So I'm just going to use it and just continue to be me and just continue to lead.
DK, you mentioned that your family earlier. Has it been helpful having your dad to kind of help you through this process because he knows the game and the business side of it?
For sure, yes, sir. He's been very vocal and very helpful throughout this whole process ever since I was, a little kid. So he's been very helpful.
Where did the chip come from now?
That's because my goal's not met.
Anything else? Hall of Fame? What else you got?
After the Hall of Fame? I was about to say, that's it, ain't it?
Triple Crown are on the way?
I think, a team goal, and then the rest of my goal is going to take care of itself. So.
DK, what was it like when you got the word yesterday, ultimately, that it was done, that this whole thing was a wrap, and just your kind of thoughts in the moment?
Like I said, man, it just hit me as I was sitting up here. So, I mean, I told my parents, and I was just smiling on the phone. My mom started crying, dad started crying, but I was just smiling. And then, like, when I sat up here, it just hit me like, it's here. Like, DK, it's time for you to step up.
John, sort of the same question that John asked Pete, but how important was it given some of the turnover to kind of keep DK and, kind of a young foundational piece of the team and all that?
Yeah, extremely. Like I said, I mean, this was, right when he walked in the door, everybody, the way he treated everybody, again, EK and his staff, like that he mentioned, Mo and, everybody in the kitchen and the video guys and the coaches, the way he handled himself. And then, you take away, this is a very, it was a really cool culture here. I think you saw some of that yesterday, and it's special. It's hard when people leave, and there's a reason it's hard. It's hard on everybody. And there's a lot of great people in this building. And, so I just think that, it was really, important to be able to it's not like an identification thing. I said that earlier. It's not really what I meant. It was we knew he was a guy that was going to be here. We had to have here for a long time in order for us to, provide for the 12s a championship team.
Okay, you haven't thrown or catch with Drew yet, right? Because of foot and not practicing?
No, we've got together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know he said he got some people together in Dallas. I don't know if you were there for that.
We've caught together.
What have you seen from him since he's been your teammate?
Both of them have strong arms. Their attention to detail is very good, and we see things a lot similar. Me, him, and Geno all see routes the same and coverage is the same. So it's gonna be fun.
What benefit is there, if any, of having already 3 1/4 games under your belt with Geno, if he is the guy?
Is of course that chemistry, but along with Drew, our lockers are right beside each other, so we always talk and joke around, and just building that chemistry, and it's going to translate to the field.
Pete, we've seen his effect on the offense and on defenses the last couple of years. Where can that go in terms of your offense? How big is it to have a piece like that on the field?
Well, we've always, championed being explosive and getting the ball down the field. That's why he was so important as an addition years ago. But it just accentuates, the explosiveness of our club. We want to be a balanced football team. We've been talking about that forever. But in our sense of balance, we always want to be down the field and working. He's the epitome. He and Tyler, our guys that we have going now, and the guns that they're throwing to, that they got the big arms that can do it too. It fits together beautifully, and you know, we need the mix and we need the strike ability. What happens with DK is teams just don't let him be by himself, and so they defend him, and that gives us a tremendous edge on knowing what they have to do, because if they don't, he's getting the football. So so it's a you know, it's the chess game that we play, but he's a magnificent player in that because he is such an obvious factor, and it puts a lot of pressure on him because he's going to get doubled. He's going to get doubled, and guys leaning towards him too. I know he likes that, and it's the challenge for him, and you know, it's our job to find all of the different ways to keep him available to us and all that. But he's a big factor, you know, when we play, and on our end, and also from the end as the other teams look at us.
DK, the foot is all good and everything?
Yes, sir.
Pete, the way John tells it, obviously, you were very excited about getting DK Metcalf beforehand, but after he got here, what did you maybe learn about him or discover that you weren't?
Yeah, it took me a while. Now, you know, I'm not, you know, I've been around a bunch of drafts and stuff, but this one took me a while. I was pretty charged. Nate and I were walking the halls looking at each other like, can you believe what just happened? You know, we just couldn't believe it. And we've carried that kind of, so when we finally got to, you know, together with him, you know, and I know it was hard on him. The process was hard because people screwed this thing up. You know, and we were just fortunate that we could take advantage of. Johnny did a great job to position us to take advantage of it. They didn't see it. We saw it we think we saw it, you know, but anyway. So I just think it's marvelous that it's come through, and now we're in good shape and just ready to crank it up and go.
DK, who or what do you want to help first back home, and how?
The youth, by first helping the healthcare there, and then the food that they don't have, you know, the right resources to you know, be successful in that area. So just building a couple of restaurants there to help the healthcare, and then go from there.
Why is that at cost particularly?
Because when I was growing up, Mississippi was also known as the most obese state in the U.S. So just fixing that problem, and, you know, going from probably 50 to probably 25 and probably #1. But just helping Oxford one restaurant or one kid at a time, and then going from there.
DK, I think it was with Taylor Rooks, you talked about how important your relationship was with Bobby. How did you guys get so close when you first got here?
My first practice, almost got into a fight with a linebacker. And Bobby came up to me after that practice and gave me his number and said, anything I need, just let him know, and we went from there. Yeah, that's how our relationship got so strong.
Right. He's ready to duke it out, man. Let me say one thing too. I was just thinking about the kids in our area. I know I've got grandkids that just love DK, and there's so many kids that look up to him and all that. It's such a gift to grow up with a great player and a, you know, iconic type of guy like this. It's such a gift to all the young guys in our area, and the girls and the boys that love you. It's going to be really fun. So I hope they're coming out in throngs to see you, because it's such a thrill for them. So excited for them. Nice going.
Pete, what's been your favorite moment on or off the field with him?
Well, we've had quite a few here. You know, my favorite moment was when we got him, when we drafted him, and we nailed him. That was the first thing. I'll never have another moment like that. I think you know, we had fun at the combine. You know, when that was our first chance to compete, and we did that. And you know, I think seeing him be so much more than just a football player is a great thrill for me, and that's why I always, you know, everybody talks about he's a great athlete, he's a beast, he's all this kind of stuff. I don't like that talk about him. This guy he's a complete person, and he has so much to offer, and I always want to keep bringing it back to him. So whenever I get a chance, I do. But I don't know. There's just a bunch of moments, a bunch of touchdowns, a bunch of big plays. So I don't have one other than that.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Oh, that was sweet. Yeah, that's a good one. There's a bunch of them already. And in 3 years, we got tons of them. So that was cool.
Philly.
Yeah, there's two of them. There's two big ones.
I mean,
The catch over the top when he goes down and gets back up and scores a touchdown. That's one. But then the other one that iced the game.
Iced the
We
game,
chucked
yeah.
it up to you. That was great.
Good time.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
good times.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right, appreciate y'all.